What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. Welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. You know I got another banger for you, so kick back, relax, and come take a ride with your boy. Now, we know that there has been somewhat of a feud between Dijonai Carrington of the Connecticut Sun and former Iowa star, as well as current Indiana Fever rookie Caitlin Clark. They've been going at it a few times now, man. And, you know, Carrington is known for being a lockdown defender, and she's put the clamps on Clark in the past. But there's a viral clip going around where people are kind of upset. A foul was called, and Carrington was kind of mocking Caitlin Clark for flopping. Fans are irate. You know that Caitlin Clark mob is not going to stand for any Caitlin disrespect at all. So it's been going viral on X or Twitter, however you want to say it. But then on national TV, Rachel Nichols came out and said that people have to stop babying Caitlin Clark, and she's not some delicate flower. This is basketball, man. That's what she's saying, right? But before we get into all that, make sure y'all hit the subscribe button for all the latest and the greatest, and join our memberships. We have that exclusive content coming daily, weekly, whenever you need it. Now, let's get into it.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
So I mentioned the Indiana Fever and Connecticut Sun went at it. The Fever were getting blown out. These teams have played before. Dijonai Carrington, one of the focal points on this squad right now. She is known as an athlete, a lockdown defender, and she's she's a good scorer in her own right. She's a good player, man, and she's catching some flack because of this clip. People are upset because she's mocking Caitlin Clark, and even on X, she is getting shots fired at her. This guy, Paul, says Caitlin Clark was targeted by black players again Monday, this time in Connecticut. Sun guard Dijonai Carrington violently checked Clark, then mocked her after the blatant foul. The crowd booed. If races were reversed, Carrington would have been ejected. Wow. And then Carrington follows that up with, "Be for real, Paul," with a whole bunch of laughing emojis. She also said, "Why y'all so mad at me and being mean? I just be hooping and having fun, man. Live a little." That Caitlin Clark mob does not play, and there's just been so much debated about race over this situation since Caitlin Clark first started, Angel Reese in that rivalry, and then it's moved on to this rivalry with Carrington. It seems like every time they match up, there is some type of headline that's being drawn out. Carrington is no slouch, though. Let's not get it twisted. On the year, she's averaging 12.8 points per game, 5.1 rebounds, and 2.2 assists. She's a really good player for the number one team in the entire league right now, first off. But lockdown defender, only 26 years old, played her college basketball at Baylor. Now, you look over at Caitlin Clark, there's a little discrepancy. Clark averaging 16.3 points per game, 4.9 rebounds, 6 assists. But the thing for Carrington is she's probably the third option on her team, while Clark is the first option. So, there's going to be a discrepancy when you playing against Wnba as well as Alyssa Thomas. But hey, Carrington is a good player in her own right. I want to know what y'all thought about the check, though. I mean, it was harmless. I didn't really see a foul there. I'm going to be honest. I think it's being overblown, and it's a little ridiculous. And we see this stuff all the time, and that's routine. But we do see it called as well. So, it's really nothing to get bent up about. But Rachel Nichols really went in and gave her thoughts on the whole situation about Caitlin Clark being a rookie in the league. She's faced some physical play. All the rookies have. But at times, I will say, man, it's looking like she's Jordan out there, and the bad boy Pistons is the rest of the WNBA, just throwing her all over the floor physically right there. Not comparing Clark to Jordan, people. Just saying the physical play of defense and how she's being guarded, double-teamed, how she's being pressed, face guarded, no space, even when she doesn't have the basketball. Like, teams are really scheming for her and looking to take her out of games, and rightfully so. She got a couple 30 balls on the year already. Caitlin's that deal, and I love that she's taking all this in stride, but I don't think she needs so many people fighting her battles for her.
I saw two athletes in a highly competitive situation. I mean, the Sun were probably always going to win this game. I mean, you're talking about like Pistons versus Nuggets here in terms of their position.
They are 10-1.
Right, exactly, in the WNBA.
Yep.
But I saw athletes playing basketball. I am exhausted by having to pretend that the women have to play a different kind of game. That Carrington is rude? That's so rude. That was bad sportsmanship. Guess what? We see it all the time. Caitlin is not a delicate flower. We have to stop pretending that. She is an athlete. She knows how to play basketball. And in the NBA, we see it over and over and over again. People sort of exaggerate contact or flop, then they get mocked for it. We see it over and over again. How many times has Chris Paul mocked Patrick Beverley? How many times has Patrick Beverley mocked Chris Paul? We're seeing some highlights right now of guys who exaggerate contact, and then there's like motioning on the floor and the flopping and all of that. Look, right there, okay? I mean, it is just, this is how the game works. Why can't women play the same game that the men do? Why are we talking about manners? Why are we talking about she was mean to her? That is not basketball. Luka's doing it right now. Carrington's allowed to do it, and Caitlin can handle it. Like, I just want us to stop treating these women as if they don't deserve the same chances to get their fingernails dirty, to play a game, to know what it means, to play hard, to care, to do the flagrant fouls, to do all the stuff the men get to do. Why don't we give the women of the WNBA credit for that without evaluating where they mean to each other? And as far as the other point you brought up with the benching, or, she didn't play, basically the whole starting five got benched. 4 of the starters got benched. She left the bench unit that was playing better in. That is a typical coach's move. It's not like Caitlin specifically was benched. She was trying to send a message to her starters about effort, and we see that again all the time in the NBA. It's not a surprise to see it in the...
I agree with one sentiment, man. Caitlin Clark is a grown woman. She doesn't need anybody else fighting her battle. She's a player. She's a competitor. And this ain't the first time she's been busted in the chops before. She's going to be fine. She's going to continue to grow. I think this rest, she didn't make the Olympic team. A lot of people were disappointed. I thought she should have made it over Diana Taurasi. Just saying. Not here to debate that because we have 2 previous videos about it. So if y'all want to go comment, definitely drop them on those. But I think just from that perspective, her numbers, she dominates in every statistical major category. She's a better player in this point of their careers right now, Caitlin Clark is, than Diana Taurasi. And then you throw on the factor of the popularity that she's bringing on top of that. It was just a no-brainer in my opinion. But there's been a lot of talk about race and everything that's going on. Caitlin Clark is an entity in a way. We don't see a whole lot of elite white basketball players that are American-born in the NBA. In college in the WNBA, there are better white players for the most part that are American-born. Caitlin Clark is the most popular player in the nation, so of course she's going to be followed, but all her fans aren't white. You can love Caitlin Clark and still love the WNBA. I don't think she's being targeted. I don't think that she's being mistreated. I don't think that this is personal. I mean, obviously, well, I won't say it's not completely personal, because obviously you see a rookie coming in, multi-million-dollar deals, all eyes on her, all headlines, games being moved to bigger arenas. She is impacting the W, and I think players are grateful for that. But of course, when you got a rookie with that much hype coming in, man, you're going to want to bust her chops. That's just what it is. But I think Caitlin's handling everything with grace. I think that she's helped grow the league tremendously already in year 1 and not even halfway through the season. Like, it's just incredible what they've already accomplished so far. Multiple venues being moved. And it's not just her. There's a league full of talent. A lot of first-time fans are jumping into the WNBA now, and I think this is the perfect time to get on the bandwagon, man, because there's a lot of great storylines, great players, and great teams this year as well, man. And this rookie class is special, and they definitely deserve their praise. But y'all definitely holler at me in the comments. Let me know how y'all feel about this situation. Was Rachel Nichols on to something? Is this being overblown? Y'all holler at me. That's a wrap for us. For all the latest and the greatest, I am Brandon Blakeney, a.k.a. Brandon Lee TV. Until next time, hey, we out.